with the airplanes, I see the biggest problem being, rather than having to have people have a professional trainer, which most people would do that, but those who can't afford it, we don't want them to have to go spend thousands of dollars that they don't have. They already have a disability. So a public access test that would be, the dog could be tested in multiple locations. They would receive an ID tag or some other sort of identification, because then once they have a federally mandated or state mandated ID tag, now these other companies that are printing up fake IDs in their garage are going to be subject to federal regulations, the same as if they were falsifying an ID card like a driver's license, or if they were also potentially counterfeiting money. Because right now there is no national or state ID. And that's the problem. We need that state ID, which should be a free test for those who need to show that their dog is properly trained.
So let me just codify all of that great information. Basically what you're saying is, what the feds are suggesting, the idea is a good idea, but what you're saying is it shouldn't be the determination of whether that dog is allowed on the plane should not be who trained it. It should be whether the dog is able to pass a test.
Exactly. And that's what's important, because we have to look at it as, we professionally train these dogs that they are almost mechanical. They are so amazing. But if someone is able to do that, and someone who can't afford it and is able to train the dog either with help from a professional behaviorist or service dog trainer, because the other problem is everybody's a dog trainer and everybody trains service dogs now because they make money at it. But they don't have a background, and you have to be able to have all of that. So we don't want to pigeonhole people who can't afford it or who can't find a decent trainer in their area. If they can train that dog, it should have the right to go with them. Remember, the dog isn't the one that has the right to go into public. The person with the disability is. So a dog is actually not considered as a service dog. It's actually basically like a piece of equipment. It's an accessibility issue. So if you have a cane or a wheelchair or any other device, medical device, you are allowed. So a dog is basically an assistive device that is really fuzzy and furry and cute and can save your life and do a lot more than a wheelchair might be able to do. So that's why we want there to be regulations, but also taking into account the fact that some people who are self-training their dogs, and the dogs are fine and very well trained, should also be able to bring their dogs on.